welcome to another episode of Simply Healed. And today we have Dr. Jansen with us again.
Hello everyone, hello Sean, glad to be here again, and hello everybody.
Today we're going to talk about Dr. Jansen's expertise, which is what everybody keeps asking us every Thursday. Doc, can I eat this? Can I eat that? What can I not eat? And Doc, we have had so many feedbacks from your patients telling feedback to you, to our healthcare specialist, that what their uncles told them they can or cannot eat.
Yeah.
So today we are going to tackle this topic called cancer nutrition management. So Doc, what can or can we not eat? Doc, our healthcare specialist shares with me that many of our patients tell us that their uncles tell them they can eat anything they want, barbecue, pork, beef. So why do uncles tell us that we can eat anything?
I think it's because of how we were trained, no? Back then, when I was still in medical school, freshly graduated from medical school before I met lifestyle medicine, what the uncles have been prescribing you, the food that they have been prescribing you, that would be the same food that I would be telling you to eat. I mean, there would be no restriction as long as you take your meds, then you're fine.
Yeah, the conventional theory is as long as you take your medicine, you can eat anything you want. But I want to challenge any viewer out there, right? If you are having a severe cough and fever, and you are taking your medication, try eating chocolates and see whether your cough gets good or bad. Try eating fried chicken while you're having a fever and tell me if you don't feel worse after that. So we know for a fact that it's true, our food does have an impact on our health. So, and lifestyle medicine is the newest kid on the block, right? It's the latest development in medicine.
Yeah, it's actually been recently accredited by the Philippine Medical Association. So it's a new subspecialty. It's a new specialty in medicine here in the Philippines. Okay.
So that means that everything that Doc Jansen is sharing is the latest and most updated. So as you know, many of our doctors are, and especially specialists like oncologists, surgeons, and so on and so forth, they keep abreast in their specific fields because they're specialists. So they might not have been as updated in the aspect of nutrition, right? Every specialty has a lot of in-depth knowledge. So that's why, okay? So to our audience, that's why, how come some of your oncologists may be recommending that you can eat an unrestricted diet as long as you follow the protocol, that the drugs that is being prescribed, you can eat whatever you want. That is really not true. And it's not your oncologist's fault. It's because they have not been completely updated with the newest things. So now these are the things that if you just Google, you will know what are carcinogenic. I mean, the whole definition of a food is carcinogenic means that food causes cancer.
Yes,
so obviously,
exactly.
if you are cancer patients, why are you eating a food that is classified as a carcinogenic? And the definition of carcinogenic is it causes cancer. So obviously, it's not true that you can eat whatever you want if you're a cancer patient. So to clear everything up, Doc, why don't we go through what are the foods that are important in cancer nutrition management?
Yeah. Okay, so let's go through one by one. First, the foods that you need to eat first, okay? So in general,
like
foods
what's the
that
goal? What's the goal of cancer?
Okay, so first, the goal of cancer nutrition management is to prevent cancer, stop the progression of cancer, and on some occasions, reverse cancer.
So we can actually reverse cancer just by
nutrition alone.
Just by what you eat.
Yeah,
without
we can actually do it. Okay,
wow.
But for certain types only, like prostate cancer, if it's diagnosed early stage. Okay, breast cancer if it was diagnosed early stage. Okay, so for those two, and even colon cancer, for those three types of cancer, if it's diagnosed early stage, by changing your lifestyle, we can already reverse it. Okay, but for the other types of cancer, if it's more advanced in stage, then we need the other modalities, the other treatment modalities already. But mainly, the goal of cancer nutrition management is these three: prevent cancer, stop the progression of cancer, and reverse cancer. Okay, now the dosing will it now depends on the dosing on where we can.
How do we actually get
the results? Okay, so next is the foods that you need to eat. So in general, it's fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and legumes. So legumes are beans and nuts, or anything that grows from a stalk, or anything that grows from a pod. Okay, and then whole grains will be examples of whole grains here. Very common here in the Philippines is oatmeal and brown rice. Okay, but I prescribe a very specific rice, no, not brown rice for cancer patients, which is red rice.
Red rice for cancer patients.
It has a better anti-cancer profile. Okay, now why am I zeroing in on nutrition always? Because diet constitutes around 30 to 35% of all cancer causes. Okay, it's the majority. It just surpassed smoking. Okay, that's why I'm focusing more on diet. Now, what foods should we avoid? Now, this was the aha moment. This was the aha moment for me when I met lifestyle medicine. The foods that we typically eat every day, no? These are the same foods that cause disease. So I'll give you an example. Red meat. Okay? Red meat causes cancer. Yeah, how much? Red meat increases the risk of colon cancer by 12% per 100 grams. Okay?
Per day?
44%.
Is this per day?
No, that's just 100 grams.
Wow.
Okay? That is increase in risk of getting colon cancer by 12% per 100 grams, up to 44%. Okay, so you can just imagine if you go to a Japanese restaurant, order this tonkatsu, 180 grams, just do the math. You'll know how much increase in colon cancer you'll get from just eating that one. Okay?
So what that means, I mean, because the numbers that we see on the screen is like increased by 44%. And some of you might be thinking, I've been eating meat for years. I don't have cancer. So what this really means is, let's say, based on all your life profile, based on your genes and your age group and the pollution, your state of your general health, let's say you have a 10% chance of getting cancer. And if you eat red meat, your 10% chance of getting cancer just became 14 or 15%. That means there's a 44% increase from 10%. Is that the right? So this is just to say, but if you imagine if you're a smoker and whatever, and you have a 20% chance of getting lung cancer, and then you eat red meat as well, your 20% chance of getting lung cancer just became like 30%.
Yeah.
That is huge, right? So all these different factors that Doc Jansen is going to show you adds up.
So red meat, 12% to up to 44% increase in risk of colon cancer. For lung cancer, increased risk by 24%. For breast cancer, 7 to 13% for every 120 grams.
Wow.
Okay? For non-Hodgkin's lymphoma is an aggressive type of cancer. That's 11 to 32%. For gastric cancer is another aggressive type. If you get this, it's almost a death sentence. 20 to 65% increased risk. For all other types of cancer, it's 15 to 71%. Okay, so that's for your red meat. Next is chicken.
Okay? Oh, chicken, no, white meat. We think is better, right?
Yeah. So consumption of chicken increases the risk of thyroid cancer by 74%.
74%. You almost double your chance of getting cancer.
If you consume chicken, at least 5 servings a week, okay, that's already associated with an increased risk of bladder cancer among men by 52%. Okay, for prostate cancer, if you already have prostate cancer, okay, stop consuming meat because that will accelerate the progression of the cancer.
Wow. Okay? And prostate cancer is actually a safer cancer because it's slow
growing.
So you can have plenty of time to treat it naturally. But if you eat meat, you're going to speed it up. So don't do that. That's a wrong strategy.
So how about for men without evidence of prostate cancer? Okay, so higher consumption of poultry with skin was significantly associated with progression by 2 to 3 times. Okay, so what is 2 to 3 times? That is 230% increase. Okay.
Wow.
So that much. Next is fish. This is the more famous.
We always think fish is safe, right? Fish is safe.
No, it's not. It's actually not. So higher intake of meat and fish was associated with an increased risk of endometrial cancer by as much as 70%. And also, for breast cancer, you increase your risk of by 14% for every 25 grams.
So I just wanted to share with everyone that, this is an interesting, we always thought it was a safe meat. But now with sea pollution, worse than ever.
Yeah.
And at least on land, sometimes we can catch someone dumping toxins onto the land.
Yeah.
But people dumping toxins into the ocean in the middle of a sea,
Yeah.
nobody knows.
Nobody knows. Yeah.
Yeah, and so that risk is pretty high right now. So be
Especially-
careful.
Yeah. Especially with microplastics as well.
Microplastics as well. So
Okay.
fish is no longer
It's no longer safe meat to eat.
no
Okay?
longer safe.
So next is, what if I do not eat whatever kind of meat? I'll just go for the eggs.
Eggs, yes.
Okay, so healthy men who consume 2.5 or more eggs per week had an 81% increased risk of lethal prostate cancer compared to those men who consume less than half an egg per week. Okay, so those of you who are eating eggs every day, okay, now you know. All right. So what about for all other cancers? Yeah, significant increase in the odds of getting all other cancers in all sites by 71%. Okay, that is huge. Okay,
That is huge.
Okay, so that's eggs. Next is dairy products. So a lot of you likes or loves to drink milk, loves your ice cream, loves your yogurt. Okay, actually milk can accelerate the growth of cancer. Okay,
Because
So-
of the hormones.
because
in
of the
there.
hormones, because of the animal protein, and the higher intake of cheese, okay, increase the risk of breast cancer by 53%. Okay, then those women who have been diagnosed with breast cancer already, okay, if you continue to eat dairy products, then you have a 49% increased risk of dying from breast cancer.
Wow, that is very significant.
Yeah, compared to those who are consuming less than half a serving a day. Okay, then women who consume 1/4 to 1/3 cup of cow's milk per day, you have a 30% increased chance of breast cancer. Okay, so milk is not really a good good thing to drink. Okay, for men naman, okay, consumption of dairy products increase the risk of getting prostate cancer by as much as 9%. Okay?
Not so bad compared to
No, not so bad, but
to women.
it's still
But
bad.
still 9%.
Still
right?
cancer, okay? But now for those who have early stage prostate cancer, no, so skim milk, low fat milk consumption is associated with getting prostate cancer as well. So whole milk intake increases the risk of fatal prostate cancer by 49% and progression to fatal disease by as much as 2.2 times. So that is 220%. Okay? So
Wow.
that is really huge. Next, let's go to
Pickle.
vegetables. Okay? So yes, there are certain types of vegetables that can increase the risk of cancer. Yeah, what type? Pickled vegetables.
But I thought like kimchi or this is
Yeah, that's what I thought as well.
yeah, because it's like
previously.
probiotic, diba?
Yeah, but I was wrong. There was one patient whom I prescribed kimchi. But after learning this, I immediately told that patient of mine to stop eating. I was wrong about that. Because consumption of pickled vegetables, okay, so kimchi, achara, okay, can increase your risk for gastric cancer by 50%. Huge. Why? It's because of the natural toxins that the fermenting produces. Yeah, the nitrates.
Doc, there's one thing that's very interesting about all these that we hear. Like it's a common understanding that we thought kimchi is vinegar.
Yeah,
It's
that's also what I thought.
but I want to share with everyone. Research has shown that the Irish can drink more alcohol than the rest of us,
Yeah.
right? And research has shown American Indians, not your Indian Indians, okay? Your American Indians can smoke tobacco and have a lower risk of getting lung cancer, all right? So that one thing that I think we are so excited about is that, we thought kimchi is good, but we don't have the full Korean diet.
Yeah.
Maybe there is, not maybe, I'm quite sure there's something else that the Koreans eat
Yeah.
in their diet that balances off maybe
The risk.
the
or-
risk from coming from
Yeah,
kimchi
or it's
alone.
just a racial genetic difference. Most Asians are lactose intolerant, but Caucasians, when they drink milk, nothing happens.
So we have got to be very careful with the myths that we hear. So if you want to adopt like kimchi is good for you, then you better make sure you eat all things Korean.
Yeah.
All right, and if you ever take a look at Koreans, you know how much vegetable they eat. right? Even your samgyeopsal
Yeah.
is lots of
Lots of
vegetable with
vegetables.
one piece of meat, right?
Yeah.
For us here is one piece of vegetable with lots of meat. That's not Korean
Yeah.
at all, right? That's
And,
just Filipino
or-
Korean.
Yeah. Or you can make sure that you're Korean.
Or you make sure you're Korean, right?
Yeah.
So I think these are some of the important things that we've got to understand even as we give you guidelines to the food. We have to remember when we hear that one culture takes this is really good. For example, drinking red wine. You know, when I went to France, I was shocked. My host, when we go to work, I don't know how many of you out there, if you do this, that's great. Do you bring a water bottle to work? I mean, do you bring a flask of water to work? When I was in Paris, right, my host, he brought a whole bottle of wine. That's what he drinks for lunch. Okay, for lunch.
Wow.
This is not the 1 cup that we talked about in the alcohol program. That's every day 1 bottle for lunch. That's like their water. So I think their system is different from ours.
Yes, different. We
So-
have the racial difference.
Yeah, so we've got to be careful, but overall, as we've talked about in this segment, it's really across the board. Taking in lots of meats is going to be detrimental to you.
Yeah.
Right? Taking lots of milk and eggs, milk especially, and dairy products is not Asian. You've noticed that eating tofu is Asian.
Yeah.
Okay, taking tofu is Asian. Tahu is natural for us. Taking dairy is not.
Based on just the food that we eat, though, we can also get the same diseases that
The Westerners have.
have. Yeah. If you, a local Japanese, right? If you put that local Japanese to Hawaii or to the US or to the Western countries, that same Japanese will have the same disease as those as the Westerners do. So
No, it is, what you say is really true because Okinawa, they have the longest lifespan.
Yeah.
Almost, if you're an old person in Okinawa in Japan, you would likely be older than 95 and very easily you live above 100 years old.
Yeah.
But they found out that if you were born in Okinawa but you moved to Tokyo, your lifespan will drop to the Tokyo lifespan. Okay, because your food and your diet is different from an Okinawan. So really, the foods that we eat, if it can affect something as simple as an Okinawan who moved to Tokyo, will see his life expectancy drop. So let me ask you this simple question. If that's just for life expectancy, is it true that for your cancer, you can eat anything? If just changing an Okinawan diet to a Tokyo diet, your life expectancy can drop 30 years. Now, is that true that if you have cancer, you can eat anything? So I think with that question, I think there are now many questions in your mind. So let's move to our Ask Me Anything segment, and you can ask all you want about what a cancer patient should eat. And if you want to know whether your favorite food is good or bad for you, ask now.